Hey, I'm Red. How are you today? I'm good. I sound a little bit funny, but that's okay. Today I'm going to be reading some r/IDOWORKHERELADY stories. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. You're not in elementary school? When I was 20, I got a job working in the cafeteria of a school that had grades pre-K through 5. I'm short, but I'm still taller than any 5th grader I've yet to meet. One day, the dairy vendor rep, he was maybe 30 to 35 years old, comes in to get our weekly order. I worked there maybe a year at this point, and he was the rep for us this whole time. That day, the cafeteria manager was out sick, so I had the order for him. Oh hey, let me get the list. Can I speak to a teacher or something? About what? Do you want to enroll your kids? No, I mean an adult. Who's in charge while she's gone? That's when I realized he thinks I'm a student. He thought I was volunteering in the cafeteria the whole time to get extra credit. I told him I was in charge for the day and was graduating college the next year and never attended that elementary school. He avoided me after that day. I have realized I'm terrible at judging the age of kids, but I can tell the difference between a 10, 11-year-old and a 20-year-old. Alright, here is our next story. I'm telling your manager you're stealing boxes. This just happened as I was leaving work tonight. Some background. I work in the copy center in the local edition of a major national office supply retail chain. I don't have a car. I'm 38 and just got my learner's permit in June. Realized I need my own wheels during the pandemic. I normally either walk the mile home or try and get a ride with a co-worker, as most have to go past my place to get home anyway. And I always ask and never assume. My store manager is currently in the process of moving, and tonight we were leaving at the same time and I asked him for a ride home. He said it was fine and asked me to help him load some empty boxes we had saved into his pickup to help with the move. So, 6 p.m. rolls around, I clock out, put away my radio, put on my coat and grab a cart and head to the office and start loading the boxes into it. Enter self-important Karen. What are you doing? Helping my co-worker with these boxes. Mind you, my coat is open and my uniform shirt and name tag are still visible. That's stealing. You shouldn't steal boxes from another company. Background. We're literally the only store that wears red shirts for a good 30-minute drive in any direction. I just scoff and say whatever and start wheeling the cart to the front. Karen follows me, and as I get to the door, my manager and the closing manager are walking up from the other side of the store, talking about my manager's upcoming move. I look to the closing cashier and cheerfully say, "See you Monday, Jay." I start out the door and Karen grabs me and starts screeching about me stealing from the store. I immediately look at her and snarl, "You have 5 seconds to get your hands off me before I call the police." Then she slaps me. Unbeknownst to everyone except the co-worker who was closing my department, the town's chief of police was in the store to pick up his Christmas cards that he'd ordered. When he heard her screeching, he turned to see the commotion. He saw the slap, so did my general manager, the other manager, the cashier, 3 other customers, and the store security cameras. 10 minutes later, Karen is sitting on the curb in front of the store, screaming like a possessed banshee on meth with a new pair of bracelets. There's 2 town police cars and a state police cruiser with their lights flashing in the parking lot. The heroin the chief found in her purse is on the hood of his car. I heard the words, "distribution weight." I'm giving the chief my info and my manager is telling him to take my statement tomorrow when I'm back on the clock. Alright, here is our next story. Lady, I'm trying to eat, same as you. I work at a boba cafe near the university that I attend, and I regularly go in some days that I'm not working for tea or coffee and maybe a snack. One day I went in and purchased some snacks and a drink, and I walked to the back of the counter to talk to the chefs in the kitchen when a woman starts screaming that there's someone stealing money from the register. As an employee, just not that day because I wasn't on the clock, I freak out and turn around to try and stop whoever is stealing. Come to find this woman is screaming and pointing at me. Confused, I tell her that I'm an employee and that I was just not working that day and I was going to talk to my co-workers. Clearly this did not satisfy her as she claimed I was a liar and a thief. I politely asked the woman to stop accusing me of things I'm not doing and walked away into the kitchen. She yelled for a manager and when no one would assist her, she left the shop, forgetting that she had ordered and not yet received her order. I really enjoyed eating her food. Well deserved after she gave me an earful. This is an example of someone just not willing to admit that they made a mistake. Admitting you made a mistake doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you strong because it shows you're willing to learn. Okay, here is our next story. She finds out that I am the director. I'm a documentary film director, and I was invited to speak at an event in my hometown that coincided with the DVD release of the film I directed. They were selling the DVDs at the event, and it was the first time I saw them, so I got really excited. I walked up to the stand, smiled, and held one of the boxes and showed it to my girlfriend and my friend. The lady behind the stand was less than enthusiastic about this, so she told me to put it back unless I was going to buy it. Here I was thinking to tell her that I'm the director, but I really don't like doing that as it's so pretentious. I apologized to her and told her that I will put it back in a sec, and I just wanted to show this to my other friends. She got very angry and told me to put it back at once unless I was going to buy it. I put it back and apologized to her. Soon after, they called me to the stage where I talked in front of 500 people. After the speech, I was talking to the organizers, and this lady came up to me and said that she was so sorry, and why didn't I tell her who I was? I could have told her right at the stand, but I guess I wanted to see how it all plays out. I hope she learned from this and is nicer to people, but I doubt it. You should be polite to everybody, regardless of who they are. It doesn't matter if it's the Queen or some guy on the street who's down on his luck. Being polite doesn't hurt you in any way. It doesn't cost you anything. But showing respect to someone can change their life. Are you ready? Okay, here's our next story. Never did live it down. A few years ago, I worked for an international courier company. Their trucks are white, their uniforms include purple. Because they're technically registered as an airline, security is taken very seriously. I didn't work at an airport location, but we were all trained to look for security badges on everyone we didn't know. There are even posters all over showing respectful methods of confirming that people are supposed to be there, but nobody thinks they're going to be in that situation. I was my first day. Guy walks by, not wearing a uniform, no visible badge, right by me. So I call out, "Excuse me, sir, may I see your badge?" He smiles, reaches under his sweater, produces the badge, and goes about his day. The people around me just gaped. Then they talked. That's how I became known as the guy who ID'd the general manager. I hope you guys enjoyed those /I do work here lady stories. Read by Red. If you did, please give the video a like. And please subscribe to my channel, because you can tell I'm gonna keep making videos because I'm doing them even while I'm sick. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.